The things women do, I'll never understand it.
Listen, it's hard. It's bad enough you can have people on here talking about me. Look, there's tech, maybe since I'm on the Tiger Toledo show, I can get my gold briefcase.
Oh, you also shots fired.
I'm just saying. Because mama, I made it. Now I need my gold briefcase. I'm on here with Tiger. Look, Tech is not gonna unmute. Look at him. He's like, nah.
No.
I'm trying to get people on Clubhouse to come in here. That's why.
It's coming on. Why? It's coming from Alibaba. That's what's taking so long.
So
all right, let me hit record. So here we go. Peace. Peace, peace, peace. This is your international sales and marketing hitman, your humble hip hop sales coach, Tiger Toledo. And you already know what it is, man. You rocking with the best. You heard? I'm already cracking up. Dominique already got me cracking up and shit. I got tears, but you can't see it though. Shout out to everybody on here. We got Tech, Corinne, Monique. We got Compton in the house. We got Gina, Bronx, North Carolina in the house. We got Takaya, what up? We got Valerie, we got Viola. What's up, everybody? We are joining the Notary War Room show with my girl, my fellow New Yorker, who's now in Texas. Yeah. She's now in Texas and all that. Dominique Williams, ladies and gentlemen, signed by Dominique. Welcome, my dear.
Hi, thank you for having me.
You know what? I was thinking about it, right? Because I'm doing this Queen edition. And I've been bringing in a lot of pretty melanated queens in this joint. I'm thinking of calling it the Notary Dime Room. You know what I'm saying? The Notary Dime Room.
Listen, my melanin washed off a little bit, but I am Black. I'm not white at all. It's just, I don't know what had happened. So I just wanted to say that. People get confused. But I am Black. So I want to just make that real clear. I don't know what happened to my pigment.
It's the green eyes, I think. It's the green eyes that throw people off.
And it's the freckles. I don't know. Like, it's, I don't know. But I am Black. I look like my father. So, we can't say it's the milkman because I do look like him. So that works.
Dominique.
I just want to make that clear. Just say it. I am not a white woman.
Wait. Does that happen? Like people think you're white or something?
Yes, they think I'm white, or they'll just come up to me and speak Spanish. And God forgive me,
I can see that.
I cannot speak Spanish. I don't. Only Spanish words I know are curse words, and that was because that's all I learned in high school. Like I cannot. I should probably know, but I don't.
You guys, Dominique is raw. I'm letting y'all know early.
I'm just saying. I just can't at all. But I can notarize documents in another language because in Texas it's legal. So I don't care what language it's in. So I'm just saying, I'll stamp it. I don't care. As long as the ID match, we good.
Dominique, for those that don't know you and that are meeting you for the very first time, tell them a little bit about yourself, please.
Well, let's see. I'm Dominique, signed by Dominique, and of the Houston Notary Academy. Let's see. I've been a notary for 8 years across 2 states. I started in New York. I did it part-time while I was the chief of operations of an orthopedic practice. Then I transitioned to make this my full-time because I did something very ghetto and I decided to have kids 10 years apart. So I was like, can't be working 90 hours a week, but even though I work 1,000 hours a week now, but it's different because I still feel like it's all my own time. It's still a little different because I don't have to answer to anybody but myself. So I am thankful that I did make this my full time. I am a notary public, a loan signing agent, a wedding officiant, an apostille facilitator. I teach, coach, and mentor in all aspects. Yeah, I think that's it. I have 3 kids. I have a 13-year-old, a 2-year-old, and a 1-year-old, and I love them very much. But Lord knows, it's a lot.
Let me ask you, how is it being an entrepreneur mom?
I love it. I wouldn't
Okay.
change anything about it because the fact of my children are autistic, so
Okay.
they require services. The services, now I'm able to pay for the home services because they are able to come to the house and like they're able to have their appointments. So if like the OT, the PT, the speech, one of my children is in feeding, but I think he's just greedy. I call him fridge. He's shaped like a deep freezer, like he just likes to eat. But I'm able to put my appointments, engage my appointments around those appointments for them. I'm able to pay for those services because with my children not being too verbal, it's I get scared like putting them out in the world or dropping them off at certain places because the world is scary. Nobody's gonna love your children like you do. Nobody's gonna take care of your children like you do. And I'm like a mama bear. So I need to see it. I need to know. Like I need to be there. With being an entrepreneur, I'm very organized.
Okay.
If I was not organized, I wouldn't be able to do it. If I didn't have everything outlined, if I didn't have my, let's shout out tech, if I wasn't automated, and I didn't block off my calendar for certain times, it would be hectic. But it does get hard. Sometimes when you're doing it by yourself and you're just like, some days it's hard. And I work a lot. So like I'm up, I sleep maybe 4 hours a night because if I don't have an appointment or if I don't have a client or if I don't have a student, I'm thinking about what's the next thing, what can I bring to the table, what'll make me differ, what does the industry need, and what won't encompass me or bulk me with the rest of them. Because I want to be, the only way for me to leave my children a legacy is for me to work really hard now and to make sure I'm coming out with something that differentiates me from the pack.
Now, what are the challenges that you're facing as you're an entrepreneur and a full-time mom? Like there got to be like which one is occupying the most of your time? And not in the aspect of like the mom side, but like in your business of being a notary, what is occupying that much time where you're only getting 4 hours of sleep?
I feel like because my mind is constantly, I have an entrepreneur mindset. So I feel like my mind is always on. I can't turn off my mind. So whereas it's hard for people to understand if they're not an entrepreneur because like, even when you're not working, you're working and you're thinking about a way to work. If you don't hit your goal for that day, like say I didn't hit my goal for Monday, I can't sleep right. I can't eat right. I'm like, what can I do different on Tuesday? That's where it is as an entrepreneur because things are not guaranteed. Am I blessed to? Most of my clientele is direct. I have worked really hard to have the opportunities in Texas and to be able to transfer things from New York to here, to where I am blessed in that aspect and I'm able to like give out my experience and everything else. But it just becomes inundated when you do go into teaching and coaching and mentoring.
You're right.
Your students become like your children. Like they're like, I have people that will call me at 2:00 in the morning and be like, I can't refresh Snap docs. And it's like, I'm signed by Dominique. As much as I want to be Dominique Williams and be like, where your mama at? Like, call your mama, don't call me. But I know that's part of what I signed up for. So it's pros and cons to every aspect that you go into. So it's like I'm a mom of many. And I just feel like my mind is just to where, like I've had certain things, like when I was in the hospital and I was mad, I said, yeah. And I made a whole book and I had to unpublish it because I saw somebody give out something similar. Like the day before I'm supposed to say, like, look, my book right here. I took that right off the market. I said, nah. I said, it was close. It's not mine, but it was too close for me to even put it out there. So I feel like things like that, now my mind is gauging to where, okay, so what am I going to publish different? Because I don't really want to publish something that's already in somebody's mind. You get what I'm saying? because how is that going to make me different?
Okay, you lost me there. And I'm going to say why. Because if it's in your mind, it has, for one, it would have to have the DNA of you, meaning that person would have to come from New York, make that transition to Texas, and have 3 children, and be a coach and all that, to even have that energy to put it out like that. You know what I'm saying? So if somebody's reading it,
theirs is different. It's a lot different. However, when like the people in the industry, and you see how, like, I don't want to put something out. Like, yeah, I've had it for months. For me to even have published copies of it, that shit takes a while for it to even get to you. So I worked on it, but now went to see like PDF pages being done out, and I'm like, okay, well, that's kind of similar. It's not exact, but it's kind of similar. And whereas when nobody's ever published anything, it'll look like, oh, okay, well, Dominique released that because that one released something like it, and I don't like being in the mixy realm of things, because things can be misconstrued and mixy in the industry. You agree with that?
Somewhat.
All right. So me, and yeah, I guess it is a New Yorker in me, where I'm like, I'm gonna unpublish it. Like, forget it. Like, I don't even want to do it. Like, forget it. I'm gonna think of something else.
The only reason why I say that is because like in inner city. Well, you grew up in Long Island. Motherfuckers got money over there. Let's be honest. Like niggas from Brooklyn wanted to live in Long Island because that's where privileged people were. Well, at least that's what we thought. But it's like somebody selling work on one corner, and then you're gonna say, you know what? I'm not gonna sell my work three blocks down because this person's selling something similar. It's like, nah, I'm gonna get the bread anyway.
I get that, but my thing is I don't want my stuff to be bundled with somebody else's, like in your mind. I don't want you to think like that this is something that, no, because like I stayed up, I made sure I got everything going or whatever. And I don't want nobody to think we're in the same realm.
Now, if you're talking about a partnership, that you did a partnership with somebody,
no,
and then you're like,
not a partnership, but I'm saying, like, if somebody releases something similar, I don't want anybody to feel like, oh, well, they only released this because I was releasing something like you had the idea, your execution wasn't my execution. That's fine. Kudos to you. That's great. But I don't want anybody thinking that I came out with something based off of your idea.
I got you.
Because you like, no. And that's me, because I just want to make sure that anything that I put out, and I put my name behind, because I'm signed by Dominique. I can't go change my name. It's been my name my entire life. So I got to be real careful with my approach and how I handle any type of anything in this industry, because there are things that happen in this industry to where the New Yorker in you wants to be like, okay,
right, yeah, let's get it popping, right?
But you can't, because you got to be like, I'm signed by Dominique. We do things the right way. Like, we do things different. And that's it's so hard as an entrepreneur and a business person, because your instincts and that want to like bite back and to bark back, you can't do that. You can't do it, because then if you fight for yourself or you fight for your brand, then you'll be like pegged as like disgruntled or something, and then everything you worked hard for, it goes away, or you're remembered for that one moment to where you could not control yourself.
Yeah. No, you're right, because but one thing that we can't avoid is that people co-op our shit. People gonna co-op your shit. When your shit is fly, somebody's gonna imitate it. I'm just letting you know.
Somebody was selling one of my books with my cartoon character still on the page.
Yeah, that happens.
Like, it's me. Like, how you gonna, like, come on, like, who is it then? Because that cartoon, it's on my car, it's on the back of my business card, it's all over my page. Like, I be sticking her everywhere. If I don't feel like looking human, that cartoon is going on something. I'm getting my whole $30 worth. I done $30 out her. Like, I done got my money worth 85 billion times. But my entire aspect with even getting a cartoon was because I needed something as a placeholder. But then for me to think, okay, because it's hard. You create things and nobody realizes how hard it is as a teacher or as even giving people information. Like, we're giving you information, we're putting our entire soul into it. But do y'all realize, like, yeah, we've been doing this. We could do anything that we're teaching with our eyes closed. But do you know how hard it is to put things in an outline in layman's terms, like to where the fifth grader could understand and execute it? That's the hardest aspect. Yeah. I could teach you with my eyes closed, but at the end of the day, for me to execute something, draft something, create slides, and to teach in a manner in which anybody would be able to absorb,
that's
hard.
Fact.
So for you to take those hours of work and read, like, I got 3 kids. You're taking money out of my house. I'm doing this with no child support, no nothing. I'm paying all this. So I'll be damned if I see, do you know how hard it is not to address things when I see my shit, my intellectual property being taken and resold? It hurts because I'm a giver. Like, I'm the gem dropper. Like, I will give you the information. Why? Because the heart in me wants everybody to succeed. But, like, come on, like, to a point to where, like, don't spit in my face.
Yeah.
I gave you that. That's fine. Even when, and then, like, I had to back up from Clubhouse a little bit because I would go on, people would call me up to the stage. Yes, I have a lot of, because I know what I'm talking about. I can't just be up here talking bullshit because, again, I can't change my name. If I talk about something, it's because I know what I'm talking about. My confidence comes from the information that I have. But do you know how much it hurts for me to be on a stage in one room, then 2 hours later, I'm pinged in another room and somebody's talking about, yeah, this morning I was thinking, and this is the topic. No, you got that shit from me 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
Don't be opening up a room with somebody and set on a stage before. Like, get out of here. I'm the birdie. I'm the little birdie. Like, you don't got to pay me, but at least, like, give credit where credit is due.
I'm big on that. Tech, I'm super big on paying homage to where you got the source from.
Exactly. Me, I was not big on automation. I used to fight with Tech. Every time he opened up a round fight with him, I'm like, that's stupid. I swear, as soon as he came on, I was like, well, I like talking on the phone. He's like, but that's stupid. And we would go back and forth. I'm like, nah. I'm like, because then I get to say my signed by Dominique, let's make it official. What can I notarize for you today? He's like, that's stupid. He's like, why wouldn't you want to give him a link and then click it? Blah, blah. And I said, you know what? I'm going to try it. And then I'm going to be back on your stage. And I'm going to tell you it was stupid. And guess what? I did that shit. And I didn't go back on the stage and tell him it was stupid. Why? Because guess what? Now I don't got to answer the phone. And that shit came from him. Nobody else. I was the first one to be like, that was stupid. People come to me and they're like, oh, well, can we talk about automation? Can you teach me on automation? No, because my shit is like, it's minimally automated based off of what Tech said. So go find Tech.
Yeah.
Like, that's the reality of it. Why? Because I'm not a pro. My stuff works just enough for me. But if you want like a true intricate, like whatever, nah, son, that's not my lane. But I'm able to say that. That's not going to take money out of my pocket.
Yeah.
So how hard is that? That's not hard. That's not hard at all.
And actually, it builds your credibility as well as it makes your brand that much stronger because you're like, okay, look, this is not my strong point. This is who I got the info from. And when you refer to them, be like, oh, okay, this person's sphere of their circle is really tight.
Yeah, like
I need to be part of their ecosystem.
Like I talked to you about marketing, direct approaches, how to really secure the deals, how to walk into appointments, how to make your appointments go fast and flawless, how to occupy your client to where they don't even want to read shit because you occupied the hell out of them, but you still flipping, baby. I know how to make my appointments go real fast. You want that? Come to me. You want to learn your foundational purpose? You want to be able to build your business foundation? Come to me. You want to do other things? Come to me. I can sit at a table with anybody that's doing the same things that I do. Like Tiara, she has a wedding officiant class. I would never be like, oh, take my class. No, it has been known if anybody has asked me anything about my course, I give them multiple. I'm like, yes, I do teach this. I said, but the luxury signings lady, she's based in your state. She does wedding officiating. Tiara does the wedding officiating. Anybody who comes with me, I give anybody multiple options. Do you get what I'm saying? So, but I don't see that same respect going around anywhere else. Like, that's crazy. Because in all reality, I don't want to teach everybody, and everybody's always going to need to learn something. But if I see people out there and they're really like putting their heart and their soul into their business, I have no problem referring anybody to anything, because I know how hard it is to create something and to stand behind it.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
You have to realize though, Dominique, like a lot of these cats ain't cut from the same cloth as, us or whatever. Like a lot of people do operate with zero integrity. They co-opt people's shit. I mean, like when your sphere of influence really, really grows, Dominique, watch, they're gonna make ghost fucking Instagram pages and then ghost these people to try to get money from them. That all of that shit's gonna happen.
We all been through stuff. Like at the end of the day, as business owners, nobody really truly knows our stories or where we really came from.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, I sit in front of you. You see Time by Dominique. She's always smiling. But don't nobody realize how hard it was for me to get where I am, or to even sit behind the camera or in front of the camera. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, anybody who you approach in this industry or outside of the industry, do it with grace. Be humble, because you don't know what anybody's struggle is outside of their business image. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's where I think that's what differentiates a lot of people in any industry, because they're not doing it with grace. Because yeah, I make good money, but I also have 3 kids with special needs, and I got doctors. Them people come here 3 times a week. That's cash.
Yeah.
So don't count my pocket, because you won't see me online talking about I made this today. Hell no, because that's accounting for. And if it ain't, it's going somewhere, because something may happen. I was just in the ICU with my baby for days. Who paying that bill? Me.
I got a question for you. So one of the superpowers, right, is that you're able to never, like, you have this tenacity about you. Like you don't give up. You can get past some circumstances that would break a lot of people, right? Where do you hone that in from? Where's that coming from? That type of strength.
I do it because of my entire life, people were telling me I couldn't do stuff. My entire life. Every time there was something that I had a dream or I had a vision. I've graduated from college. I have bachelor degrees, and I had nobody at my graduation either time. I stayed in relationships to where I was getting beat the hell out of every single day. Cheated on left and right, and being told, oh, you work too much, but they didn't want to work and pay the bills. And I felt down on myself. And then it took for me to get angry, for me to be like, I have these kids and I don't want nobody to let down my kids. I will never let down my kids the way I was let down. And that's where it comes from. So even the days when it's hard, I look at my kids and I'm like, I got to do what I got to do. Because in all reality, nothing's guaranteed. And me, I used to be the person where I didn't like to lose. I stayed in relationships because I didn't like to lose. I felt like if I left, I was losing. I gave up. Like, that's just how I was raised. And it was like, once you get married, it's forever. Oh, hell no. Now I'm like, team leave. Like, I'm a wedding officiant, but please. Like,
what you said, team leave?
Team leave. Like, go. Like, nah. But it got to the point where I thought it was normal. I thought it was normal to be quiet. I thought it was normal to not have a voice. Like, I wasn't allowed to speak. And now I'm able to speak. So now can't nobody shut me up. I'm going to speak. Why? Because for years, I was muzzled. I wasn't allowed to do nothing but what I was allowed to do. I didn't even know what my own favorite color was. Do you know how messed up that is? To have to rebuild yourself enough to figure out what you like? Food don't even taste the same. I used to think I had a favorite food. Now I'm like, I never even really liked that shit. They just always wanted to go there. Like, that's the thing. And it's hard because there are days to where, like, for me to leave my last marriage, like, I make a lot of jokes, and me, I guess you can call it like my fat spirit, because I was like 394 pounds at one point, and you know, fat people like to make jokes, so I joked through. So when I had left my marriage, this tooth is pushed back like a little bit. It's pushed back just enough to where, you know, when I get a bag and I fix my teeth, and I could have got enough money to get a BBL, don't say nothing, because y'all ain't seen me like this before. So don't say nothing, okay?
Got you. We got you.
But it's hard to, because you have those reminders. When I get up in the morning, I see that my face is different on the other side because I have a metal plate in my face, because my face got stomped in. So at the end of the day, I have those reminders every day. But instead of me letting them break me, I'm like, you know what? That's fine, because I'm just going to work harder. Because once my kids are set and they have their college fund set or whatever, then, you know, I'm going to just start fixing a bunch of stuff. Don't say nothing. Like, don't say nothing. When you see me fixing stuff, that's it.
Girl, you are phenomenal.
Thank you.
I am so grateful that you are here today. I'm speechless right now. Everybody, I want you guys to come on here and show her love. Unmute your phone, unmute your computer. Come, I just need you guys to come show Dominique love. Let her know that we here.
Hey, here I am.
Damn, Dominique.
Here I am, front and center as a New Yorker. Didn't I tell you this is why I resonated with her?
You are
Yeah.
amazing. Amazing.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Dominique, you're amazing.
Yes.
I applaud you.
Yes.
I give you kudos. Thank you. Thank you for just expressing yourself. Thank you so much. I give you a lot. You get a lot of
I feel
claps.
like now we need to be able, I feel like I get people all the time that are messaging me and they're like, it's hard. I can't be the face of my business, or I can't go out and market, or I can't do anything when it comes to my business. And it's hard, and I do it every day, but you have to find what drives you. You have to. It's hard. I'm like, you have to show up for your business. Like, I left my baby in an ICU to go do an event because I didn't want to mess with anybody else's time. I didn't want it, because at the end of the day, when you run something or you say you're going to be there, you have to be there, because you have to show up for your business, and you have to respect the people who want to support you and buy the tickets and be there.
Yes.
And it's like every day I feel like if I keep pushing through and I keep persevering, maybe it'll inspire somebody else. Maybe there's somebody who's going through something similar to where they don't feel like they have the strength or they have a voice. And it's hard. I'm not going to sit here and say it's easy. It's not easy.
Right.
But you have to look at the bigger picture. Like, for me, my why is I want my kids to be set. Like, I will always do for my kids before I ever think to do for myself. That's just me. Like, I'm not that person. Like, my kids will have whatever they need. if I don't hit my quota, then guess what? That's something that I'm not doing for myself, but my kids will have what they need.
Right.
And that's like the thing that's so hard, is changing your mindset to get those people, because when you're in any type of abusive situation, whether it's physical or emotional or whatever, you still hear those people in the back of your mind, no matter what you do.
Yep.
Every time you want to take a step, you hear that, or you hear something negative, and you have to figure out how to muzzle them out. And I'm saying, whether you're going through something, not all abuse is physical. Like, sometimes you just have people who will, if you have an idea, they will find a way to like discourage you. Don't let them discourage you. It came into your mind, you do it. You do it to your fullest extent. And guess what? If it does not work, then at least you tried. And it's market research. If it fails, it's market research. Then you know to change your approach. No matter what you do, it is market research. That's the way you got to look at it.
Do you have like a morning routine that, that builds you up? Like for me in the morning, I talked about this on Womanomics with Tierra and Corinne, that first thing in the morning, before I do anything, I'm putting on motivational speaking. I'm talking about Steve Harvey, Les Brown, Eric Thomas, Anthony Robbins. I don't care. I need that to get poured into my spirit, because I wake up with doubt like everybody else. You know what I mean? Like, what's going on here? If this gonna be taken care of and stuff like that. And I have what I call my gratitude shower. And Corinne said this eloquently. She was like, it's like a cleansing, right? The water falling and it just cleanse while I'm listening to my Steve Harvey, Eric Thomas, and all these, Les Brown and all these guys. So is there a morning routine that you do to get your day started right and on the right foot and build that strength inside of you?
In the morning, every morning I read my Bible. I was not big on the Bible. Like, I was raised in church, but it's different. Like, church, like you went because you had to go, like when you were younger.
Yeah.
But I didn't start to seek solitude, and it didn't start to make sense to me until I got to a point to where I couldn't see anything. Like, you ever woke up and it was like you couldn't see what you wanted to do 5 minutes from now?
Indeed.
And I got to that point, and it was like I started seeking solitude in my Bible, but I have balance.
Explain that to me. What does that mean, speak in solitude? What does that mean? Like,
so like
speaking to yourself?
When I get up in the morning and like I'll read my Bible, and I just flip to a random page. Like it works for me. I will flip to a random page, and then I will read until something hits me, until something, like, it's the spot to where I feel like I need it to be today. So I wait until there's one passage or verse to where it speaks to me. And then that's just what I'll have in the back of my mind. When I'm done with that, before I go into the shower, I look in the mirror and I'm just like, you got this. Like, I will randomly, like a crazy person, if I see a mirror, I'm like, you got this. Like, today, like, you got this. Like, I will randomly be like, you got this. That works for me. But then I balance it all out. Like, when I get really stressed out, or even in the morning, like, I'm putting on, like, I'm weird. Like, I could rap every one of Biggie's songs. So, like, this morning I got up and I was rapping the 10 Crack Commandments. So it's just different. It's balanced. It's balanced. I was tired. So I was like, you gotta balance.
Yeah.
So I mean, I got a good balance. So me, like, I'm a rapper on the way to appointments and stuff, but I balance it out with because music has always been an outlet for me. And no, I can't rap. I'm not a rapper, can't dance, and I'm not a singer. But I will bust down some Biggie, some NWA. Like I will, like that's me. Like
you will get in that mode.
Yeah, like I'm chilling. Like you see, man, listen.
I don't know if you're looking at the
playlist.
chat at all, but the chat is lighting
Oh,
up
I
for
gotta
you.
click it.
They showing you hella love. Ray Charles in California wants to speak to you. You can unmute yourself, Ray.
Hey, y'all. Well,
Hey.
good morning. Good morning, good evening. You know, we all on different coasts. Dominique, I just wanted to say, number one, you know, you're amazing. Thank you for, you know, sharing your story. And just from listening to you, I can tell that you have been through a lot, Dominique. And I think you should, if you feel comfortable with it, I think you should share your story more with people, because there may be a lot of women that can resonate with you and what you've been through with like your domestic violence and all of that. And they would gravitate towards you because you have been through that and you are currently succeeding and you got through that. So I definitely do think you should definitely share your story more. Like I've heard it before because I heard you talk about it in clubhouse rooms and stuff like that. But your Instagram following is so large, you know, that a lot of people on your Instagram may not have heard your story and what you have been through, because you're definitely defying all the odds, you know, like you're not letting anything holding you back. Secondly, I want you to, if you can, to not worry about what other people think that you're doing or what you're offering, because you know you may be offering the same thing that they're offering. Everyone has different personalities and people are going to gravitate towards different people, you know. So you have a very like bright personality, Dominique. You make people laugh. Just because, you know, someone is, you know, say for instance doing a wedding course and you're doing a wedding course, they may rock with you simply off the fact that they can connect with you more. You know
That's
what
a
I'm
fact.
saying? So it doesn't matter if you push out your wedding course a week after them. So what? You go to the grocery store and go down the bread aisle, and what do you see? 10 million different bread brands. But I bet you they're all successful because people like what they like, regardless of how many people are offering the same services. But you have a lot to offer to the notary industry. Like you're very smart. And I just think that people can really, really learn a lot about you and from you. And I really think you should just kind of push your story more if you are comfortable to do it. I know it's a touchy subject, but I think you will resonate with so many people, Dominique, because I have never met a notary talk about going through domestic violence.
Yeah, me
I
neither.
don't see too many notaries talk about them having, you know, autistic kids, you know, so share your story.
Damn, Ray.
I wanted to share my story, but the thing about sharing my story is I don't want people, because as women, you know, it's different for men. Forgive me, Tiger, but it's different for men in any industry. So as women, I feel like what I struggle with as far as sharing my story is I don't want people to look at me as a victim, because I'm not. I'm not a victim. I was, but I'm not anymore. So I feel like I do want to be able to give people the strength that they need, or maybe tips for if they're going through what I went through. But then most of the things that I've gone through are very gruesome. And that's the reality of it. You know, it's not like a Lifetime movie where it's just like the regular run of the mill abuse. You know, some things are really gruesome. So it's just a way to how to give that information without censoring it. Does that make sense?
Right. And I just think you should just be upfront with people, like how you just said to us now. You could probably start off by saying, I am not a victim. I'm telling you guys my story not because I want you to feel sympathetic for me or anything. I am not a victim. You have to tell, when you're doing stuff like that, just tell people right out the gate what it is. And also be like, let them know, be like, what I'm going to share with you guys may be a trigger and it's real gruesome. But if you're willing to hear it, I'm willing to share it. But just tell people that, and just tell people none of us are victims. Tell them when they wake up every morning, they need to tell themselves, I am not a victim. Because Dominique, you need to you should. I definitely think you should share your story. Definitely think you should share.
Because I struggled. I appreciate that, Ray, because I struggled with like speaking about it because I was like, I don't want anybody to buy shit from me because they feel bad for me. I want them to buy from me because they know I know what I'm doing. You get what I'm saying? Does that make sense? That might sound stupid, but that's just how my mentality was. Does that make sense? Tiger,
that makes sense.
You see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying.
To be honest with you, girl, Dominique, I really don't look at you as a victim. I don't.
Yeah, I don't look at you as a victim either. And I get what you're saying about, you not wanting to buy people to buy stuff from you because they feel bad for you. But girl, get your money, sis. Shit. If that's why they want to buy, then God be let them buy for that. Fuck them. Like, fuck what these people think out here, girl. Respectfully. Like, fuck these people. You
and
got
disrespectfully.
Yeah, you got kids, girl. Shit. I wouldn't give a fuck why they was buying something from me. If they was buying it because they fucking feel bad, I don't have to know that they're buying that from me because they feel bad. All I know is that shit, I done got a notification that somebody just purchased a course. You know what I'm saying? Like, get your money, girl. Get your coin. And you can't stop somebody from feeling bad for you. You cannot control what other people think and how other people feel, Dominique. No matter what, people gonna think and feel the way they want to feel. And if that contributes to you getting your coin, then so fucking be
it. Yeah, I just
Go squad.
I just feel like I couldn't me, I'm just like, I want to get my respect and I want to hold on to my respect because I went so long without being respected,
People gonna respect you, Dominique, because people gonna see your authenticity.
Yes.
And as long as you stay true and authentic, Dominique, you gonna be good. You gotta get out your own head, baby girl. You are psyching yourself out big time.
I know.
Girl, fuck these people. You know you being true to who you are. And as long as you know you being true to who you are, Dominique, it don't fucking matter. You cannot please fucking everybody. It's gonna be somebody, Dominique, that's gonna come through and have something to say. But if you get that one person out of compared to 100 people that have good things to say, so fucking what? You cannot please everybody. And you may not be for everybody, and that's okay. Just be true to yourself, and people gonna realize your trueness and your realness and your authenticity, and you gonna be okay, Dominique. Just listen to you. I'm like, oh my gosh, she is psyching herself out. You gotta stop, Dominique, because you got it, girl. I promise you. You fucking got it. Look at all the shit that you're doing. People fucking rocking with you, girl. I'm like, these girls that got a fucking monthly membership. The fuck? Come on. People are fucking with you. You got to stop psyching yourself out, Dominique. I'm telling you, girl. But I wish you well. I really do. I wish the best for you. I'm happy I hopped on here to get to know you more. Like, my heart is just aching for you. Because I'm like, damn, Dominique been through a lot. And you're young. And you crying. I could just see it hurts you. And I don't want you to hurt no more. So I wish you the best, Dominique. But stop psyching yourself out, baby girl. You got this. Go get that money.
I will. I appreciate you, Ray. I really do. Like, sometimes you need to hear it from other people. But there's certain things that you won't hear from other people if they don't really know what's going on, So I appreciate you so much. So very much. And I know, like, I worked a lot on my mindset, but I know there's still work to do because you do get in your own head and you do really block yourself from doing things because your mindset, as much as you work on it, it doesn't all the way go away. Like, it's something that you're gonna have to work on daily. And that's part of my journey, my daily journey.
I love it. And besides, you could call me and I'll go upside the head with a bottle of bub, baby.
Right? Except they don't fight, they only fight women.
The bitch niggas. I got you. Gina, you'd like to talk to Dominique. Unmute yourself, dear.
Yeah, of course. So, you know what?
Gina. Gina's my girl. Gina was on it. When I was in the ICU, she was on it. She was like, and make sure you eat. I know you didn't eat. I said, I know, I have it. I will.
Yeah, and then 10 hours later, did you eat? And I know she was like, what the fuck? I'm not worrying about that right now. And as moms, you know what I'm saying? As moms, that's why, us moms, we don't think about ourselves, especially when our kids is in crisis mode, whatever that crisis mode is. And I get it. I'm dealing with it every day. This is why I resonate. You just solidified why I resonate towards you. One, you're a New Yorker. Two, you're a woman. Two, you're a businesswoman just like me. Three, you're a mom. Four, I've been in abusive relationships and marriages also. Five, I have two sons that are special needs. My oldest son, he just turned 32. Okay. And at that time, nobody knew about autism or anything like that. All I knew is that my son couldn't speak. And they automatically wanted to put him in special ed, just off the rip, without even doing no evaluation or anything. And as a mama bear too, I was like, what we not gonna fucking do is just put my son any old damn where without doing a thorough analysis, okay? And this lady, she was like, oh, I got a degree in social whatever, social work or whatever the fuck. She tried to downplay me because, you know, I just only have a college degree, but I taught myself how to read by 2 years old. But anyway, I told her that my son just needs general education with speech. He's too smart to be in special ed. They evaluated him. My son was 2 years old and knew how to play video games. Didn't know how to pee straight, but knew how to play and move around that video game like he developed it his damn self. Beat my ex-husband, his namesake, beat him in video games at 2 years old. And if I didn't see it myself, I would have told my kids they were blowing smoke up my ass. Mm-mm. No, so I know what the struggle is. And despite all that, my son graduated from NYU, the same one that they, rid him off. Graduated from NYU about 4 years ago, works for MTA. Okay,
oh,
bioengineering degree. Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
That's dope.
But he's special ed and all, special needs and all. You know what I mean? So
they tried to do that with my oldest. She has Asperger's. She's brilliant.
Yeah, my little guy was diagnosed with Asperger's. Yes.
Socially, she can't, but educationally, she's brilliant. Straight A student, right. She can focus, but she can't read like social cues or like.
That's my little man right here.
She can do calculus, but if somebody pulls up in a truck and it's like, you want to go for a ride, she'll be like, sure. So it's like that's the problem. Like you just can't. So other than that, but I'm thankful for all my children, no matter what they struggle with. And as a mother, we just have to advocate for them. And that's why I'm like, well, forget it. You guys don't want to cover it. I'll pay for it. You're not going to medicate my kids. You're not going to stick them. You're not going to write them off. You're not going to put them. You're not going to label them because the world will always label them as Black children. All my children, like I'm pigment deprived, but my children are not. Like they are not. So you are not going to label them because the world is already going to be so hard on them. And I know that as a mother, as their mother, I have to advocate for them. I have to speak for them and have to make sure that they have those opportunities.
Because they've already written as off the rip because we're Black.
Exactly. So, and I know what it was like to be. I would have never been the chief of operations if they thought I was Black. That's the reality of it. If they knew I was Black, there's no way in hell.
True.
I would have climbed that ladder and been the chief of operations. No way in hell. In a workplace, you don't speak about your ethnicity.
No.
When I originally started that position 10 years ago, to get the interview, I circled the white box.
Oh, well.
Why? Because I did it with the Black box, and they didn't call for the interview, and I knew I was well educated and experienced to get that position, and that's the reality of it.
Interesting.
And it sucks.
It does, but it's the truth though.
But I busted my butt to get everywhere, and I earned my respect. But that's just a surefire way to like understand that we have to advocate for our children, and we have to be there for them, because I do have Black children. I am a Black woman. But it is hard, especially because with having Black children with special needs, they're like, they either want to institutionalize them
off the
or
rip.
they want to put them on medication to where they're drowsy and they won't ever be able to advocate for themselves. They told me my daughter was never going to walk. And me, I was 20 years old, and I said, I'm not driving no damn minivan for a wheelchair. She gonna get physical therapy. Like, I ain't getting no minivan. Like, I was like, no, it was selfish. I was young. Don't judge me.
No.
I was like,
yeah, there's a no judgment zone here. So you good.
I was like, no. And they had her with the medical braces and whatever. And me, I've always been like, the world's gonna be hard on them. So me, I would be like, people would stare at her when we would go to the food store and stuff, because she had like the Forrest Gump braces. And every time they looked, I'd be like, Jada, you know, life is like a box of chocolates. You're never going to know what you would get. And then people would be like, oh, yeah, so stop staring. Because now I'm going to give you something to talk about. Like, that's my thing. But in order, like her, they tried to write her off. She had brain surgery when she was a year and a half because her nerves were bundled in her brain. Because her father, he would choke me out until I passed out every night when I was pregnant. Wow. And the air deprivation bundled her nerves in her brain. So her feet were completely inward, nothing would. She was having a lot of neurological issues, so she did have brain surgery when she was a year and a half. But then from that point, they just wanted to stick her in a wheelchair. But I did physical therapy, all the early interventions and everything, and now she's brilliant. She's taller than me. She's a big, beautiful girl, but she's so smart. But I didn't let them.
Where'd she get that from?
I did not let them. Put my baby in a wheelchair or tell her she couldn't. I was like, you're gonna read? You want to read? We gonna read. We gonna do this. We're gonna do that. And I wanted to make sure that she has everything that she outlines. Now, mind you, she is brilliant, but if somebody comes next to her in a van and they're like, I got candy, you want to go to the store, she'll get in the car. So that's the problem. So I know that. But other than that, like, I'm a full advocate for my children, and I just have to, we as mothers, we have to be that source. We have to be that voice, and that is hard.
Kemiani, we coming to you next. Thank you, Gina, for tapping in.
No problem.
Kemiani, you there? You can unmute yourself. Wow. So mute.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Hi, Kim.
What up, sis? First of all, I got to salute the GOAT, Tiger, for even having this type of platform for women to have voices in this industry. Super dope. So salute the Tiger. And then, Dominic, you know you my dog. You know that? I ain't never met you in my life, but you know you my dog. So, you know what I'm saying? I didn't know your story until you talked on Matherin's YouTube that day. But before that, my wife stamped you. Like, soon as she found out about you, she checked you out on your Instagram. She's like, I like her. And one thing about my wife, she is a hard nut to crack. Like, she is a hard nut to crack. So if she stamped you, I know you're 100. So I just want to tell you, man, I wish I feel like I met you in real life. But, you know, we did our business together. But I look at you like a sister. You know what I'm saying? If I was in Houston, you know, you can have anything from me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm proud of you. You're strong. You the bomb. I'm telling you. Like, you just came out of nowhere. I was like, damn, who is this? And then, man, with the TikTok and all that, I was like, damn, if I only had the energy to do that shit, I would be on it. But I don't got time to be doing all them TikToks and stuff. But you be knocking it out. And that business mindset that you have, there's not a lot of people that just come out the paint just with that shit. You just come and you just load up. I mean, you come fully loaded. Like, it ain't like, oh, you just gifted in one area. Like, you loaded. Like, you fully loaded. And it ain't a lot of people out here that can say, oh, I'm doing this, and they really doing it. Like, they'll talk that stuff, but they ain't really doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? But you got it fully loaded. So I just want to let you know I'm proud of you, strong, and you know you got family in Maryland.
I appreciate
Kim, real quick, Kim, what you got a dope ass accent. Where are you from?
I'm from DC, but you probably think I'm from the country, but nah, I'm from DC.
Okay. Yeah. I think I saw your Instagram. You the one that carried that Glock with you and shit, huh?
Yeah.
That was me doing the
22s in her shoes. So I guess she keeps 22s in her shoes. She ain't playing.
That was just a little something for the gram, Tiger. I ain't making no noise.
She pushed back that blazer. She was like, you know what it is.
I know. I saw that. I was like, what notary appointment is she going to? God damn.
Ain't playing.
I ain't making no noise, man. I'm just trying to promote, the women out here, make sure they safe and everything, you know what I'm saying? But I ain't making no noise. I was just doing a little something for the gram, Tiger.
She put your ID next to this Glock right here.
Yeah, she was, right?
Don't try no funny shit.
To hop on and tell you I'm proud of you, and the interview was great.
Dope. Thank you, Kim, for tapping in. You getting hella love in this chat, girl.
Oh, thank y'all.
Who else want to tap in and talk to Dominique Williams?
Hey, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Tiger. Hi, this is Takia. I'm Takia. Y'all with Premier One Mobile Notary. Yes, I must give you kudos to this membership, because I was like, oh man, I gotta pay for the membership. Man, I appreciate this membership. I'm loving it, because every month you bring so much strong. Look at Dominique. You have other people on here that you can actually connect to, and it's like a family. Or if I feel like this is a family, basically.
Yeah,
so thank you.
It's a family.
Yes, thank you for having it. So I know, Dominique, you were going back and forth one day on Clubhouse with Tech, and I'm like, well, she's so mean to Tech. What's going on? Why she's so mean? But I can understand your story.
Tech owes me a gold briefcase.
Yes,
Tech owes me a gold briefcase.
Okay. So I give you kudos because I see your story, and if I was to quit or try to stop you, I can look at your story and say, what the hell am I doing? Shit, she doing twice as much as me, got twice as much going on. Ain't no reason for me not to fail over here. What the hell am I doing? I know you living in Texas and you got a lot of more business in Texas, Florida, and other locations, but it's no excuse. So I give you kudos. Thank you for sharing your story. And I must say, you inspire me to push a little harder around this Michigan. I'm in the state of Michigan. Push a little harder with this business and be a little more organized. So I see that's what your key is. What you were stressing, you had to be organized, right?
Yeah, the organization is everything. Whether you have a lot of outside noise outside of your business or not, if you're organized, it's less stressful. It's less you got to think about it, because it's already, tech, if it's automated, you have to think less. But if you organize it and you organize your business well enough to where you could take a deep breath, you'll have that peace of mind. And there's no dollar amount that is worth that extra peace of mind, especially when you're in business, because it may be, if it's slow for you right now, when it picks up, baby, you want to make sure you got that organization in, because it will be so hard. And it's hard to do anything in business. Even if you want to pivot, you have to do everything structured and organized, because unstructured pivoting is chaos.
I agree.
Trust me, because I'm the many hats girl. I'm like, oh, I could do it all. I'm like, can't nobody tell me nothing. I'm gonna do it. Oh no, baby. You gotta structure and you gotta organize it because it will be very, very, very hard. And when you find a way to just get everything together and to make sure that your business is working for you. You may want to go out there and make every single dollar, but if it costs you your peace or your soul, it's not worth it.
That's the thing. When you can't, like, say, for example, I had to switch off the answer the phone, and then you were saying something about Tech was saying about, see, you wouldn't have to switch off the phone if you automated. But then, you know, when you do get the I'm paying for leads, when you do get the leads, people they don't want to pay. Oh, I don't want to pay for you to drive. I'm like, okay, forget it. Okay, so that's not really what I'm looking for. So that's a whole nother situation. But I see what you're saying. Be organized and don't worry about.
And do the automated responses. Do you have your Thumbtack with automated responses?
I have it Thumbtack, but I don't have it automated where I can send it straight to them. That's where I'm working on, like, it automatically.
Go in your settings, create a few automated responses like this. Oh, thank you for choosing blah, 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 blah. I can't wait to be whatever you want to say. And make sure you're sending that message right away. Just be like, choose one automatically, and then you'll be the first one that messages them back. Make sure it's a well-drafted introduction. And that's how I secure like 98% of my Thumbtacks.
Oh, so you don't have to answer the phone. You just send that automation straight to them.
I send, as soon as I get the notification, or if they send me, because Thumbtack will send me notifications talking about Barbara hasn't heard from anybody. This is a great lead, blah, blah, blah. I just do an automated thing. Or if I'm scrolling through Thumbtack and I'm like, all right, I guess I could go there when they need this. But I use Thumbtack for like wedding officiating, notarizations, apostilles. I put well-drafted little paragraph, little responses in my settings, and then that way I just select one of the responses. Like, it doesn't say anything about pricing, it's more of an introduction, and I would be more than happy to complete this for you. You know, you got to feed it to them like cake, they'll eat it. And then, because most people are like, oh yeah, you need a notary, it's $5. Like, don't nobody want to hear that, Susan. So if you do an automatic response, and then it seems more professional and more outlined, you're planting the seed to where they're like I have one of them, and it was just like, well, I have no problem completing this notarization for you, as I understand that this is a very important document, and you would really like to get this document done correctly. Like, I plant seeds. Like, yeah, you can go with Sally over there because she's cheaper, but I already told you that I'm gonna do it correctly. So you want to risk it? Is your document important to you? You're on Thumbtack, and that's an automatic response. I do not be copy and pasting and stuff in there. I don't. When I respond to them, it's kind of like I'm selecting the response and I'm selecting a fee or whatever I want my fee to be. But if you spend and it took me a few hours, I'm not gonna lie. I went on Thumbtack and I had to like draft out my responses to where I could make it so it fits for each situation. I have 3 of them right now because I use Thumbtack for multiple things, but just a good introduction, and the fact that you're like, I am more than capable of completing this notarization for you. I understand this document is very important to you. Please connect with me, whatever, blah, blah. And then I send it automatically, so I don't have to think about it, and then they write back. Okay. But you're leaving a professional imprint on them. And you're not having to think of a full draft, because, you know, when you're responding on Thumbtack, it's like, you're kind of like, if you're busy, you're like, damn, what the hell am I going to write to these people when I'm going to put this fee in this box? Like, sometimes I'm like, I'm tired. I'm like, whatever. But if you have automatic responses in there, then you could just select one of those.
Okay. I never look at it like that, but yeah, that's it. That's the automation process. Wow.
And heck, we got Mr. Automation on here as we speak. Tech. So Tech, unmute yourself and chime in real quick. See if we
Tech,
can help.
Do you believe in automatic responses?
I was gonna say, who trained you, Dominique?
I mean, I tussled with the king, you know. You pick up things when you're tussling.
Yeah.
What would you add to that, Tech? Like how to streamline it? Yeah.
It's like driving a car. A car, it can go fast or it can go slow or it can not go at all. But just having a car is not going to get you there. It's the way you use it. But Dominique, you were saying something earlier that I think it was kind of powerful. You were talking about the book that you had and how because I think that's something it's going to start coming out, right? As far as like people really resonating with what you teach. And Tiger and I, like, we've had the discussion, like the way that you break it down is going to be very simple. It's going to be very easy for people to sort of digest. And what can happen is that it's so powerful. It's like so powerful that somebody can instantly just take it and then 2 hours later go create a clubhouse room and then go try to teach the same concept that you were just talking about. And it's very fascinating to see how that works.
Chuck, I know it's happened to you. If it happened to me, I know damn well it has happened to you. You cannot say that it's only me. It has to have.
Yeah,
as far as what, like someone jacking my shit?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but like I tell Tech all the time, I'm in a private jet. I ain't worrying about what the ant's doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? These maggots and shit. They like, and some part of it, I'm humbled by it, right? Because they thought it was dope enough for them to, like imitate it. But at the end of the day, like I can't tell my pilot to swing down so I can address an ant. You know what I mean?
I get it, but it's like I put my entire heart into anything that I put out.
I feel you.
I sit there because I'm like, I want it to be valuable. I want them, because there are a lot of new notaries, they haven't cracked the code in their area. They haven't. So it's hard. So as much as like I feel for them, that's why I price the way that I price, and my pricing is not to be respected, because I've had my business coaches like, you're giving it away. Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, but you got to understand, like me as a single mom, I have my heart in it. So I'm like, let me just price lower. I know what it's worth. And I know that they're going to make money off of the information that I have to give them. I'm not just feeding them something that's easy. I'm not going to feed, I'm not doing it. But then the heart in me is like, I know it's probably hard for them. I don't know what they're dealing with it. I don't know what's going on. And then it's like, there's a lot of things that like I'm coming out with, like even the audit of the Google My Business pages, because I have a lot of people that are like, I don't know what's on my page. Okay, I can audit your page or whatever, but be prepared to get homework, because I give homework, because you still gonna have to do the work. I'm gonna tell you what's wrong with it. You're gonna have to take it and you're gonna have to do my suggestions or whatever. But it's like I'm bringing stuff to the table that takes time, that's of value, that will benefit your business, but it hurts a little bit when people aren't respecting what you're giving them.
It'll throw you off your game. It's straight up. I'm gonna let you know up front. It's going to detract you and distract you, and it will take your eye off the prize. I'm giving you cold hard facts here. You're gonna be like, what's this bitch ass nigga doing now? And then you're gonna look at him, and then you took your eye off the prize. You're no longer moving that way because you're in the rear view mirror looking at what bitch assness is doing. And it don't do that shit.
I know. And it's like, I can't let it bothers me to the point to where I spent so much time being angry. Like I was angry, like with the fact of like, because a lot of the stuff that I accepted and that I went through and that I stayed in, I was like, damn, like you got degrees and you sat there and like you let somebody do that to you. Like, damn, like I'm like, man. And then I'm like, if I tell my story, these people are gonna be like, this girl don't know shit. She's dumb as hell. Because I was dumb as hell.
You will see. Like, here's the thing too. You outwork them. You outwork them. So it's like, okay, if you had this one book, right? You see how you pulled that book off, and I'm gonna keep it all the way funky with you. We New Yorkers, I'm keeping it 100 trillion with you. You took your book down. That could have been a book that was already up there for sale, and then you would have been working on your next book, and then you would have put out another book, and then worked back on another. Now you're flooding the market. I'm making drug references. Now we flooding the market with our work and shit, right? I.e. the book. Now you have the coaching thing. You dominating in this area. Now you're doing the notary shit. Now you're doing the clubhouse. Like you flood the damn market to the point where they can't survive in your ecosystem. You're like, I can't do it. She's just everywhere. She's too much. Let me find a smaller minnow fish that I can co-op. When you're putting out too much work, they can't. I remember there was an interview with Jay-Z, right? And Jay-Z had a meeting with State Property, Dipset, and all of these guys. And they said, hey, look, there's this guy named 50 Cent that's about to come out. He's like, to kind of suppress some of his impact on the industry, you guys need to flood the market. Put out as much music as you possibly can, right? And then nobody took heed to what he said. So guess what? When 50 Cent came and then that In the Club came, it was a wrap. Everybody was done. It was 50 Cent world at that point because they did not
I
flood
wore
the
some
market.
G-Unit. You know, I bought it. I did buy some G-Unit. I did wear the wife beater. I did.
You wore that bra cup wife beater? That nigga used to. That nigga wife beater was different.
Beater. It
That's
was.
The bra
they had
cup.
like the thing. I was like, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
we
cool.
called that the bra cup.
Listen,
wife beater.
You know, one of them they live by me. What's his name? It's the ugly one. The dark skinned one, the ugly. 50 Cent is ugly, but he had money, so he's less ugly.
Tony Yayo or Lloyd Banks?
Yes, Tony Yayo. He lives by me. So I was like, yeah, like, all right. Like he used to be at tea night and stuff. A little shifty. But yeah, I was like, yeah, we got
Queens niggas is shifty. Y'all niggas here. The Queens niggas shifty.
Listen, I thought I was cool. I was like, yeah. I was like, this like FUBU. Like I got pictures of me. I was wearing FUBU like to the death in middle school. You couldn't tell me nothing. I was like, yeah. But you know.
But I do need you to flood the market though. Like if you don't be sitting on products and pulling your shit back because somebody else got a fucking R&B album. Like, nah, like, okay, you got art. Like Renetta said, you go down the aisle. She said you go down the aisle and there's not only one type of bread, there's multiple types of bread. I'm a pumpernickel guy myself.
But I'm not scared about putting out stuff similar. What I'm worried about is the fact of the matter is I've had to fight my whole life. And my business is signed by Dominique. It's not Dominique Williams. But you have to tread lightly enough to not bring out Dominique Williams. So
I didn't say stop fighting now. I didn't say don't swing on niggas.
You have to respect, because I have seen it, not towards me, but I have seen in this industry where people are shady as hell, mixy as hell, they will post things, but they can't back up anything. And me, I'm more of a, okay, so where's the flight and where are we meeting so we squash it? This is not a squashing industry. Signed by Dominique can't squash things. So Signed by Dominique avoids any type of anything to make me feel away, because I'm not somebody who's gonna like side check you. Like, okay, let's go live. Let's talk about it. Let's be about it. Like, whatever. That's my thing. But it's hard to where I don't want to put myself in a position to where I have to get into something with somebody. Like, I got so much going on in my business and my personal life, like with my kids. Like, I don't have time to be dealing with all of the mixy stuff. Like, there were certain people, like, you know, Tech, the other night when you were like passed out, I was like, listen, Tech. I was like, listen, Tiger, I'm confused. And once I said I was confused, everybody fell out because I told you what I was confused about. That's where I don't want to be.
Yeah.
Because those are the things that like come into my mind where I'm like, if 2 + 2 is 4, then what the fuck is this? That's where I'm kind of like, that's not making any sense, because I know how many hours it took for me to come up with anything. And it's like, I had to perfect shit. The first ebook I came out with, I explained things to where I thought it was explained in layman's terms enough to where people could digest it, but it wasn't. They were still confused. So then I had to go back and retract it and make it a little bit simpler and space out the pages and change the font to make it more digestible. But all of that takes time. Every time you put out something, yeah. At the end of the day, it's your thought, it's your intellectual property, it's the execution. All that takes time. even if you put something on Amazon, shit, do you know how many times it takes you to get the damn cover right? With them like going in, like,
that's a fact.
It took me longer to get the damn cover formatted right, like to even get it to the point to where they were publishing it. Like all of that takes time. And it's like, to get respect from people who are not currently doing it or who have not done it, they don't understand that.
You know, I go back to like and Tech, we'll come back to you, and then Regina. Something that Corinne said was that real recognize real, right? And when people are co-opting your stuff, and for those that didn't catch it, we were talking a little bit in code, but there are fake instructors out here that are co-opting people like Dominique's stuff, Tech stuff, my stuff, you know, and they're taking the intellectual property and they're creating books and platforms and courses around the originators' stuff, right? And they're going to get called out eventually. I promise you this.
Yes, but not only that, you know how mad I was because like I'll sell my stuff and it's way cheaper than it's worth. So like I have like one of my ebooks that's like $45, but it literally is hundreds of dollars of information. But I price it so you making that money back that you invested in the book and some, you still paying bills. So your profit loss margin is not crazy. You get what I'm saying? Like you're not, that book is not in your loss column of your investment. Like you making that shit back your first appointment. So for me to do that, and then you're taking my stuff and then you giving it away for like 90% off, I'm like, and then somebody's coming to me and they're like, oh, this is like what I got for $5.
Yeah.
Oh, is it? Because it's only $5 because they didn't put the work in to create it. So they're not losing nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, come on in, Tech.
Yeah, that's what that's what I was kind of getting to, which is the point. I think you guys both are right? You guys are both right. Tiger's right because you can't lose sight of where you're going. And matter of fact, to give any credence to some of the stuff that will inevitably happen is going to happen, right? To focus too much on that is going to take your attention away. And Dominique, you're absolutely right as well, because you know it's bootlegging, right? It's like it's really, I describe it as slavery, right? When somebody's earning off of all the work that you did, which is okay, it's kind of an interesting thing in a position to be in, but yes, it has happened to me, and it's okay. Like I know it, right? Trust me, I know it, right? I can recognize the way it happens, but you know, Dominique, I don't think you have anything to worry about though, because I think, like I said, you both.
But it's just right. Respect, because Tech, yes, I have my business, like I said, just enough automated for me. You're not gonna see me pop out with an automation workshop. Like I'm not.
Listen. I've seen them, right? And I've seen them, but what I'm saying is I know exactly what you mean, because I come from a world, and I think you will relate to this. I come from a world where it's an honor. It's a privilege for you to create something, and then for me to say, listen, I learned this from Dominique. I learned this.
If they say it like that,
right.
That's more than any money value, because at the end of the day, you would be helping my soul, like my spirit and everything, if you just gave me, like, I'm not telling you got to shout me out every 5 minutes. No, that's redundant. But at least give me the credit that what I worked for and I put those hours in, like it was valuable.
Yes.
Like you saw something in it, like you saw what I saw in it. Like there was a purpose and a premise to it. Like, yeah, everybody's like, you know what? You should be like humbled, like, all right, yep, that's my shit. Cool. I know that, but I want you to say it.
Yeah. So what's happening is that you're feeling that now. And yeah. And like I said, you both are right. And I think there is no right or wrong way to look at this, but that's that feeling that you're experiencing. And you put your hard work, long nights, long hours. I know exactly how you feel. And then it's a weird position to be in, because that person didn't do the work, and then that they're not going to get the acknowledgement that you're not seeking approval from anybody. I get that. Neither am I, neither is anyone else. You want this satisfies you, right? It's not about the money either, right? To some people.
No,
some people will do what's called
really,
a cash grab.
It's not truly about the money, because the money will come from, like, if they like tell the truth or if they give the shout out. That's where the money will come from. And then it's just the fact of, like, they're getting opportunities and getting onto platforms. They're getting doors open for them of somebody else's shit. Like maybe I could have been on that platform.
Right, which speaks to Tiger's point, which is at some point anything without a foundation was just going to crumble. And I know, and it's hard to think about that at this moment, but I know exactly what you're feeling, and perhaps we could take that offline. But I just want to say that, and I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, we're not. Yeah, because I'm gonna, it's all right.
Yeah, and the reason why I don't want to mention any names as well is because I don't want your brand to get tied in with an underling. Right?
Yeah, I don't.
If you start mentioning names, then people are going to be like, oh, people just love controversy anyway.
Yeah, so you're the whistleblower. The next thing you know, they'll be like, did you see? Did you see? And first of all,
and then your brand gets tied in with that person forever.
I'm grown. I got 3 kids. I don't got time to tussle with nobody, because guess what? These bills are real. This work that I'm doing is real. In between appointments, I'm creating more stuff. I'm getting things ready for workshops. I'm answering questions. I'm doing everything, because first of all, any of us who are on social media or have any realm of anything we're creating, we know sometimes them questions come in and they are redundant as hell. Yeah. So for us to even take the time to answer those and to do everything that he's doing, like Tech goes on Clubhouse every day. I have a Clubhouse room, but I don't open up a damn room. Why? Because I was like, nah, it's not for me, son. Like, I tried and I was like, nah. Tech be really up there, like, for hours at a time. And me, I'm like, if somebody pings me, I'll get on the stage. But other than that, I got to go. Like,
last question. Are you no longer on Clubhouse? Because I might be right behind you.
I will not. I have a Clubhouse. I just do not go on there. If I do, I'm being pinged in. I sit in there for 5 minutes, see if it's something I want to be interested in. If I'm not, I'm out.
Gotcha.
But that's just more so the fact of I got tired of that. And then it was like when people who haven't even been doing this shit that long, it's not even, haven't even been doing it as long. Like, I'm 8 years in this shit. 8. Okay? So for somebody who, because they're old, when people see like people that are old, they think, oh, they must have been doing it. They must be grandfathered in, and they're not. And then when people are not only taking my intellectual property or taking things that I said in a prior room and then using it as a topic for another room and not giving me any of my kudos, or they're pinging me to come on the stage and then they're butchering my name.
That's what happens I've never been in Clubhouse, so I don't know.
Let me tell you. Oh yeah, let's get Danielle up here. Who the fuck is Danielle? Don't ping me, because when you ping me, you have to select Dominique. I never rebranded. I'm signed by Dominique. It is not hard. And then I let it rock. And I let it rock. But now we about 57 times in. So now don't ping me into anything, because I'm not coming up there. Because I don't want to be to be like, my name. Because at the end of the day, I stand behind my name. My name is my brand. So I take that shit personally. I could have named my business anything. I could have named it Notary Enterprises if I wanted to. But I was like, you know what? I fought my entire life. I was muzzled down my entire life, and I could not be myself. I was not treated like a person, and I was not able to be Dominique. So I chose to make my shit signed by Dominique. Why? Because I'm Dominique and I worked hard to get here. That is why. So like, to where some people, they're like, oh, well, there was no thought into that. No, my entire spirit is in that. Because I was always I didn't have a voice. So now whenever you see that, you're going to know my name. My name is going to be in household. It's going to be coming out of mouths. They're going to say Dominique.
You know, with that being said, I want to ask Tech. Hey, Tech, how's it looking with that IP attorney? Is he going to grace the notary war room one day?
Yeah, I saw Dominique's eyes light up. No, but this is a great conversation because for everybody listening, and if you're watching this in the future as well, yeah, there's a good friend of mine who will be a guest on the show, and so stay tuned, y'all. You will not want to miss this. This is a powerful, incredibly sharp brother, and where I live in Silicon Valley, where there's startups everywhere and people are creating businesses and people are revolutionizing the way scheduling is done, ride share is done, the way food is being delivered. People are disrupting things on a daily basis. I see it right there in my backyard, right? So intellectual property, what Dominique is talking about, and this is something that we should all care about. And I'll leave you with this last quote that he said, and just kind of as a cliffhanger, what he says, never sell anything. But he's an intellectual property attorney. He's been doing it for years. He's worked with all types of patents and all types of products, and he works primarily with a couple of different businesses. But yeah, he's going to be a guest on the Notary War Room, and it's going to be you do not want to miss this.
Make sure you tap in, guys, because you need to, especially if you're going to take your business anywhere, whatever vision you have for your business, because this is the way I see it. As entrepreneurs, there's no glass ceiling. There are no glass barriers unless we place them upon our business ourselves. I don't care if you're in it as a notary, you were never just a notary. Your notary can be your foundation. You can go do 50,000 things. You want to know why? Because every goddamn business needs a notarization at some point in time. Everything. I don't care if you go decide to build airplanes. Guess what? You're going to need transfer paper, shipping docs, something. Your colleagues in the industry, business formation paperwork are going to need a notarization. So you can keep your notary and keep going and build off of that.
Facts.
So at the end of the day, always like what we're doing and what you're doing, once you have an entrepreneurial mindset, you know that you can take your business wherever your dreams. Like I already told them, I said, yep, I got the Houston Notary Academy. But guess what? If there are notaries on Mars one day and they want to learn something, guess what? I'm taking my ass right to Mars. Can't tell me shit. I'm getting right on that on the damn bye. I'm going. Like, no. So you have to make sure as an entrepreneur, you have that entrepreneur mindset and you're not putting those barriers on yourself. Because coming from everything that I had to crawl out of, it is hard to not place those barriers. I still, like, no matter how strong I am and how far I've made it, I still put barriers on myself in my mind.
Yeah.
I still do.
Tell people how they can find you, Dominique.
Y'all can find me on my website, which is signedbydominique.com. You could find the Houston Notary Academy at thehoustonnotaryacademy.com. I'm signed by Dominique everywhere. And yeah, so if you need me, always reach me and I'm here.
What's the academy again?
HoustonNotaryAcademy.com. I actually teamed up with Sherelle of Lovely Notary Services. So we're bringing everything beginning to end. So like a huge course catalog, workshops, networking, not working events, because you know what, it can't all be business. So we're bringing the whole, you get to unwind with like-minded individuals going through the same struggle. We're building your mindset. We're cultivating the things that you're scared to cultivate. You're going to hear those stories. So like y'all got a little bit of my story here on Tiger's show, but obviously there are some more things that I have gone through that maybe I will divulge in the future. But just to be able to cultivate your mind and to cultivate your business. So from beginning to end, that will be there for you. And me, I'm always here for everybody individually as well. So, yeah.
Plug it in one more time for me.
I am I'm signed by Dominique. So I'm signed by Dominique everywhere. And I'm signed by Dominique.com. And then I have Houston Notary Academy, which is Houston Notary Academy everywhere. and HoustonNotaryAcademy.com.
Love it. One more time.
Signed by Dominique everywhere, and signedbydominique.com. And then I have the Houston Notary Academy, which is Houston Notary Academy everywhere, and HoustonNotaryAcademy.com. So tap in, stay tuned with everything, because I'm not gonna let none of these intellectual property stealers and hustlers take my shine. I'm here to fight, because I done been through some things, and they ain't finna get me out or to take my spirit.
We gotta take one more question from Gina, and then I would like to get some final words from you, Dominique. So okay. Gina, you there? Gina? Out in North Carolina?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm sorry. Yeah. Look, that New York spirit, we work hard. We don't like nobody taking nothing from us. That's a New York thing. And and again, I'm feeling everything Dominique is saying, because it takes a lot out of me. I'm quiet and I've been through things too. But one thing I don't like is nobody, underestimating me. That is a pet peeve of mine. That stems from a lot of trauma and stuff. Two, I don't like when somebody thinks I'm not smart enough or capable enough to do something. And three, don't take nothing from me, especially if I worked hard on it. I feel what she's saying. It takes a lot to be professional. It does. But when I worked in corrections and ran a whole environmental health unit on my back and working with a lot, all I did was work with men. I was a pest. I did 17 years as a pest control applicator, AKA exterminator. And to have somebody had undermined my credentials, my experience, because I was a woman, and because that wasn't quote unquote deemed a feminine type of work career that I chose. Yeah, I feel everything what Dominique is saying. When you work hard and put your blood, sweat, and tears, especially when somebody or environment tells you that you don't belong, or you shouldn't be here, or you ain't even worth the space you should be in. Yeah, I feel that. I feel everything she's saying. And it takes a lot, as a New Yorker, we want to step to you like, yo, what the fuck was that? You got a problem with me? Yo, we at what time we get off? From 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, we can go in the parking lot. We can square up and take care of this. Away from the cameras, away from the supervisors. What's really good?
See, it is a New York thing. Like me, I'm like, all right, because I don't like to argue. I know. So how are we gonna do this?
Yeah, but that's the professional. That's the professional Dominique. I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that. I know. I understand. We have a business, and we're CEOs and we're founders, and we have to act accordingly.
Well, so because you act accordingly, people take your business etiquette as weakness.
They take your kindness for weakness, as my mother used to say. Yeah.
All right, we got to take one more question. We got Jay House. We got someone new on this joint. Jay House, go ahead and if that's your name, unmute yourself.
Tiger, and it's Joseph as just kind of my alias, and so thank you so much for allowing me to join today, and thank Tech for turning me on to this joint. I really appreciate it, and the time this afternoon has been incredible.
Joseph? Wait, the attorney?
No, not an attorney.
Oh, okay.
In Indianapolis, Indiana, the Mobile Notary Network. So coming to you from representing the Midwest, where we're a little bit more laid back, but nonetheless, I have really appreciated this afternoon, Dominique. Thank you so much. I think you and I have maybe chopped it up in a couple of the clubhouses at one point, but I wasn't going to say anything. Yeah, I wasn't going to say anything.
I hear feedback.
Okay. Go upstairs.
So I just wanted to just thank you, Dominique, for your story. Thank you for your perseverance, your resilience, and just representing for the brothers out here. I just wanted to say, hey, my heart goes out to you for what you've been through, but I just want you to know there's still good brothers out here, and just everything that you bring to this notary game, I appreciate it. I've taken in from all of you guys, and but I just wanted to say thank you. I've got some good
I
friends that just
appreciate
moved to
you.
Houston, so as we come down to visit them, I'll look you up and see if we can maybe make it to one of your notary networking events and meet in person and just give you love in person. But just from the Midwest and from the Mobile Notary Network, just thank you so much for your story this afternoon.
Dope.
Oh, thank you, Joseph.
That's super dope. See that, Dominique, real quick. You're inspiring a lot of people.
Or is it me?
Yeah, it was some feedback kicking in. Okay. But you see how your truth is inspiring people. Don't shy away from it. Yet you went through what you went through, given, right? But now it's time for you to turn that into a strength, and that people that are going to watch it, there will be a ripple effect from this, right? Yeah. There is somebody that's going to watch this that is going through similar situations, and they're going to watch this very thing for some inspiration. So don't.
And I want them to feel comfortable to message me like, if nobody's there for you, because I know it feels lonely. And then if you've gone through something, you feel like you're scared to speak up because of how it'll make you look. But if nobody's there for you, I will be. I just want you guys to know that, because things were happening to me, and I was just like, if I go to people, then, my name's going to be on papers or something, and then people are going to know, and I don't want nobody to know, because at the end of the day, I still had to show for the work. I still do everything. The hardest thing in my world, because listen, once I had to get the plate in my face and my tooth and everything, and my whole side of my face was swollen, I still showed up to work the next day. I spent the whole night in the emergency room, found myself out at 8 a.m., and I was in the office. My whole face was just, couldn't talk. I was just with a notepad, just telling people what to do. All the physicians, they were like, what happened? I was like, nothing worked. Like, we gonna work. We got stuff to do. That's just what it is. And I know what that's like. And I just want to make sure that if you're going through something, I could be here for you. Even if it's not as bad as what I went through, it was part of my own fault, because I didn't want to lose. I didn't want to leave. So they kept doing, they were like, oh, well, you're not going nowhere. So they got worse and worse and worse. So if you need somebody to talk to, I'm here.
Yeah. Give some last parting words to just somebody that might be going through something like that, or even heck, I got a 16-year-old daughter. I want her to sidestep something like that. Well, give us something on that.
Speak up. Speak up. Speak up. I know it's hard because you feel like you have to stay strong, or I felt like people would judge me because I chose that person. Everybody named Mama was like, what the hell are you thinking? No, don't do, like, everybody, everybody. And I was like,
upstairs, no. Mommy's working.
I'm gonna stick beside him. And I was just like, it was just more because I didn't want nobody to tell me I told you so. And that was just me with my spirit. Like, I was just like, nah, we for lifers. I'm gonna ride it till the wheels fall off. And them wheels then fell off like 4 flats on a Cadillac, and I was still pushing in neutral. I was still trying. But you need to speak up, and if you can't find your strength, or if you don't have nobody to speak life into you, it's okay. It's okay to not be okay. But recognize that you're not okay and find somebody to speak to, because you're going to need that. You don't need to feel alone, because whether you're an entrepreneur or not, entrepreneurship can be lonely as hell, because when people start stealing your shit, you get scared to talk to people, But find your people, find your circle, build your circle, my biggest thing is I never want to be the smartest in the room.
Facts.
Because if I'm the smartest in the room, then what the hell are they gonna tell me?
You in the wrong room.
I ain't learning shit. I gotta get in a better room. So I'm like, and so that's my thing. And build your circle. Pick 5 people that inspire you. That make you want to strive to be greater. And then find your why. My why is my kids. My kids are my everything. And for them, if I didn't have them, if I didn't have kids, I can't even say that I would be sitting here right now.
With that being said, you guys, thank you all for joining us. Dominique, I appreciate you, and I am so grateful you graced this war room. This is epic right here. Like, you went there, took it there, and came back home, and we here for you. You already know how we get down. I love it. Thank you so much for your transparency, for bearing all. I mean, like this was incredible. Like, share this, like this, share with other people. Let somebody see this, because this is impactful. This is way beyond the notary business here. Like this is so dope. I want to thank you guys again for joining us. Peace, love, happiness, and cash flow. Dominique, love you, girl. You stay strong.